Good morning and welcome to our session. I'm here with Brad Haynes, our specialist in cybersecurity here in Sunset Learning and way more. So today our tech talk is your guide to cybersecurity, certifications, tools, and career development. Welcome. We can start or we will wait for a couple of minutes for everyone to join.
Yep.
Brad, thank you
Hello.
so much for joining us today and teaching. Please stay until the end of the session, you all, because we have a giveaway and also a very good promotion for you. I will be here helping in the chat, and if you have any questions or anything, notice that all the attendees are muted, so you cannot unmute yourself. So use the chat tool to send your questions or anything, and also the Q&A. Okay, we will be launching very quick polls. If you guys can please help us answering that so we can guide also our session and address the content. Okay, Brett, all yours. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, Carol, let's give it a couple more minutes. I've got Eastern time, 11:27. So we've got a few minutes before the official start time. But for those that have joined us, use the chat. Let me know where you're from. And we'll go from there. I just want to make sure we got the chat working. During this, I'm going to be showing a number of tools. So Carol will be putting in the URL links in there. Oh, welcome, Miami. Oh, Lebanon. Very good. Sri Lanka. Welcome, Sri Lanka. I'm actually just outside of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So welcome from Canada. And Carol, I think you're from Sao Paulo, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
Brazil.
Yeah. So a true international presentation today. So welcome,
Yeah.
everybody. Welcome. And hopefully, hello, Illinois.
Well, Salvador.
Yeah.
Good.
So being just outside of Toronto, we have four seasons in the Toronto area. So it's just coming off fall, getting into winter. Fall is one of my more favorite um, seasons with the color of the leaves, that type of thing. So it's actually it's coming up to be pretty good, colorful idea. For those that do gaming with Fallout, it is Fallout Day today, so I'm kind of got my Fallout shirt on. So hopefully that's good. And what we want to do today is make sure that we give you a career pathing, an understanding of what you can do getting into cybersecurity. If you're already in it at the entry level, we've got some career pathing to grow that, and just a kind of overview of the tools and that type of thing. So, okay, excellent. Okay, so Carol, I've got 11:29. We can give it a couple of more minutes. Welcome again, everybody. We'll be starting in just a few minutes on this guide to cybersecurity, certifications, tools, and career development. So welcome all. And Carol, did you want to just go over some of the housekeeping again? So we're at the bottom of the hour. So if you want to do that, then we can get kicked in about a minute's time. Okay. Okay. And again, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be starting in just a minute or so, but as you join, let's know where you're connecting from. I'm just outside of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So we'll go from there. But we've got representation from pretty well all around the world today. So welcome all. Oh, hello from McKinney, Texas. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Greatly appreciated that you're spending your time with us for the next hour. Arizona. Hello, Arizona. I was just saying that we're getting into our fall and winter up here in Canada, so it's starting to layer the shirts in the hoodies. So there we go. Portland. Welcome, Portland. Denver, Colorado. Welcome, Denver. Yep. Carol, can you check your audio when you're ready? And we'll just get the housekeeping, then we'll launch it off and we'll get started.
Yes, all good for me.
Okay. Okay. So Carol, I think what we can do is, oh, India, slides available. So Carol, for the slides, what we do is we record this and we give you the URL for
Yeah,
that, and
yeah.
you can
We will
reference
share
those
the
slides. And if
recording.
you want to screen scrape them, you can do that. Okay,
Yeah, but we
excellent.
will
Yep,
share the recording.
Bay Area. Okay, Carol, we're good to go. We've got recording enabled. And I think
All
what we'll
good,
do,
all yours.
yeah, we'll get it launched up. And if you have questions, just you can put it in the chat or you can put it in the Q&A area. I want to say let's put it in the chat that way everybody can see it, and then we can start sidebar conversations if we need to. If you want to add to the chat a little bit of say you've got some experience with something. I'll be talking about some tools, some environment. If you want to give me a thumbs up or something that you might have seen this, and that's good. So let's do that. Okay, let's start. Today, your guide to cybersecurity, certifications, tools, and career development. Quick agenda is I want to talk about just the fundamentals, what you would see in a normal cybersecurity course. And I'm going to talk about a couple of vendors that I've selected for that. A couple of things. You're going to talk about the job market and the job roles, what's out there. Do some demo of a job role website. It's US based, but we can kind of keep that as a normal one. So two career paths we're going to go over. One was CompTIA Cybersecurity path, and the other is Cisco. And I've actually picked these for very valid reasons. We'll go over that, but I like how both of these vendors have a introductory and then practitioner and then advanced practitioner and then expert career path. So either one of these great paths. We're going to talk about both of them and then go from there. Just a quick recap. We can't go through everything here, but I'll just show some of my favorite tools and apps and frameworks, and then summary and key takeaway. So to start, I'm going to have a bit of fun. I don't know if anybody's seen this. Have I been pwned? So I'm going to drag over the website here. If anybody's seen this, let me know. And if you want, I'll use your email and we can check that out if you're bold enough to just put your email in chat. So basically from this, have I been pwned? The pwned came from the old gaming industry and if you look down at your keyboard, see the O and P are kind of side by side. The guy said you've been owned, but he mistyped it and put pwned, and it kind of stuck. So that's where this pwn came from. So what you do is on this site, you put in your email, you hit check, and it should come back with 0 data breaches. Okay. Okay, we've got a victim that would like to check out their Gmail. Stand by, I will put that in. Let's see if I can. And who is this? Takara? Yeah. So you've got 2 data breaches. Okay. And not to worry, what you do with this and you look at where these data breaches came from. What my suggestion is just quickly look at the last data breach that you had. And as long as you've practiced, good password management, changed all your passwords associated with where the data breach is, use multi-factor authentication, you're good to go. Okay. So that's have you been pwned? Getting back here. So the fundamentals of cybersecurity. So let's figure out from the basics, it's basically the practice of protecting systems, networks, and programs from digital attacks. And basically these attacks are typically there to access, change, or destroy sensitive information, extort money, interrupt normal business processes, and basically the goal is to have what's in the CIA triad. You'll see a lot in cybersecurity training, and it's confidentiality, integrity, and availability. They call it CIA. And the confidentiality is ensuring only authorized individuals can access the information. Integrity is ensuring the data is accurate and unaltered. You might hear a term non-repudiation. Someone says, well, I never sent that email, but you can actually have process procedures in there to prove that, yes, that person did send that email. So that was an example. And availability, ensure that systems and data are accessible when needed. And the one key thing is you want to make sure that data is available, but you don't want to make it so difficult that people aren't using it. Okay. Um, I'm just checking the chat on the side here. 15 data breaches. Oh no. So hopefully you have fun with that application. Again, that's the CIA trial. You'll see that quite a lot in cybersecurity training. Um, Carol, can we launch the first polling question? And while you're doing that, so the question is, does your organization have an internet or cybersecurity acceptable use policy? Now, if you're contacting us individually, just let me know if you're following like a best practice, like in your mind, or if you're doing something at home or small business. Yes, if you've got a policy or you're following something that is an awareness side of things. So we'll go from there. Okay. While we're doing that and collecting that information, and Carol, interrupt me when you've got enough polling in there.
Oh,
Okay. So
good.
types of hackers. So you might have heard of the color of the hats. Okay. So basically, you have white hat, and I call them the good guys. They're ethical hackers that help organizations find and fix vulnerabilities. Okay. Then you have the black hats, the malicious hackers. I call them bad actors, and they exploit systems for personal financial gain. Okay. The gray hats, they might be someone who is in a cybersecurity role at their job, but after hours, they're doing something nefarious. Okay. So that would be like a gray hat. It's a combination of between ethical and unethical boundaries. So that's the gray hat. Script kiddies. Not sure if you've heard of that term. I want to say a lot of and I'll quote the hackers out there are script kiddies, and we'll see with some of the tools that I'll show you is you can have very limited knowledge, but using the tools that are out there to actually cause quite a bit of damage. And then, add AI in there and it just gets even worse. Okay. So they're basically inexperienced hackers using pre-made tools. That's script kiddies. And you've got hacktivists. They're usually, they promote a political or social agenda. And then these are the ones that are, state-sponsored hackers. They operate on behalf of governments. So this is a lot of tool availability, a lot of money funding. So these are some serious bad actors in here. If you're running something like a capture the flag, if you've heard as CTF, capture the flag, you might hear different team colors. And it kind of be broken down into two main ones, and then there's this purple one on top. So the red team, these are the offensive security professionals, and they simulate real world attacks, and it's to test defenses. So red, the attackers are offensive. The other ones are the blue team. The blue team, they're defensive security professionals who detect and respond to and mitigate attacks. So they're protecting the environment. And then you might have what I'll call a purple team, and they're like the coaches or the overseers, and they help to make sure that the red and blue team are working together for that type of thing. So Carol, can you take a minute and do we have a response for the polling?
Yeah, sure, I can share. 1 second.
Yeah, if you just want to pop that up. Okay. Well, I'm glad to see that yes, a lot of people do have an acceptable use policy. We could talk about how you could break holes in it. So, give me a thumbs up or a one in the chat. Have you actually seen colleagues that use their own AI licensing, like Chat GPT or Gemini or Claude, and they're using it at your work, your place of business, and they're using, corporate data. So, it's good to have the acceptable use policy, but we might have to expand it now into internet, beyond just the internet acceptable use, and also have like an AI acceptable use. Okay, thanks, Carol. So with that and the acceptable use policy, whatever, this is just a quick chart to show you how long it takes a hacker to crack your password. Where we want to be is in this sweet area, the green area. So basically, 12 or more characters, and you want to have a combination of upper and lower and symbols. And you'll see that using these common password cracking tools, you can hack into these fairly quickly with the right background, knowledge and the tools to do that thing. So this is what you want. Some of the ones that that are available in the courses that I'm going to be recommending is John the Ripper password cracker. Let me get some information on that. So John the Ripper, it's basically an open source tool, detects hash types. Cain and Abel, password recovery suite. Hydra, a network login cracker. This might be things for trying to get into like Cisco routers, switches, that type of thing, and I'll check that. Medusa is kind of a brute force. Brute force is basically going through all the letters and characters until you finally get through and guess the password. And then when we've got really high speed processors now, that's a reality. Another one I like is AirCrack. So AirCrack is basically a Wi-Fi network auditing suite. It checks the wireless traffic and will try to crack things for there. So how do you defend it? In the chat, what do I do? The question is that besides changing the password, well, the one thing I can recommend, use multi-factor authentication. Change your password, try to get it in the suite area, use an MFA. Okay. If you're at an organization, make sure that your acceptable use policy has these password policies in there for length and complexity. Okay. A quick note on that is I've seen passwords where they have a combination of upper and lower case and whatever, but they only make it like 6 characters. Okay. So what I basically recommend is it's good to have a long password. So if you have something like my dog ran down the street, but you change the O of dog to a 0, and then street have like E's for the or 3's for the E's, that type of thing. So so lengthen it out. It doesn't have to be cryptic. It can be a phrase that you're happy with and just tweak it a little bit. The other option is use a password monitoring system. I use the one from Apple, iCloud. It's free, and I've got Apple for my environment, and it seems to work well. So the way it works is I load the password up. I go to enter in on a website, for example. It'll pop up a block, and it'll say enter the 6-digit code. I don't even know what my passwords are. Okay, I just generate these long password, 16, 18 characters, and I let the password management platform do it for me. Okay. So let's have a quick look at the job security or the job market for cybersecurity. 2 things I'm going to look at is one is a report that came out just in the last couple of weeks. It's from CompTIA, and then I'm going to give you a demo of this environment called CyberSeek. So, Harold, if you can you plop in this this link for everybody? And as you're in the chat, it might be a good idea is just copy those links and save them, and or else we can provide a whole link of everything else at the end of this conversation. Okay, so if I look at the job roles here, what was gleaned out of this thing is, I guess, 6 different areas of where they gave recommendations or observations. But the big thing is that it's there's a lot of US-based job openings right now. Okay, the number 1 issue is skills gap. 70% is AI adoption. We have to talk about AI when we're talking about cybersecurity now. And basically, the second observation within this report is AI is transforming operations and defense. The other thing is data. We need to guard our corporate knowledge. The example of people using their own AI models in the corporation, arm's length of any security um, barriers or guardrails that are there. And then, of course, last thing is developing a skilled cybersecurity team. And when you're building a cybersecurity team, what they looked at is the approach that was being taken. And again, this is from this state of cybersecurity report. So they're looking at new hiring, train the current employees, or certify the current employees. Some of the areas that they're looking at building up, again, a network infrastructure security. And I just want to reiterate, and I'll say it a couple of times. If you've got a good networking background, then it's very easy to get into cybersecurity because you have the understanding of how packets flow and that type of thing. Okay. Some of the other ones that were in this, the skills is, AI and automation and knowledge of threat landscape. So how AI is changing cybersecurity from that report. And the big thing is the skills gaps in AI. And if I just look at something I pulled out of that report, and I just did a cut and paste here, and it says that there's a tremendous focus on individuals using chat tools to find information. So if you're using chat and you're doing a single shot prompt, like help me do this, and you get the response back, that's fine. But there's a slow movement towards integrating AI into workflows, okay, that can scale to teams and organizations. The integration is the key that will unlock, massive productivity boosts. Basically, what that is if you're using single shot or just prompt responses, have a look at agents. You might have heard a term of agentic AI. So that is starting to take on a whole new life within cybersecurity. So that's the one thing that we were looking at in the AI side of things. So cybersecurity, AI, tightly coupled now. Okay. Carol, I'm just going to get ready for the demo. Can you launch the next polling question for me? And then what I'll do is I'll get this ready for here, the next one. And again, just here, what is your job role involvement in cybersecurity? Not yet started, somewhat involved, actively working. Let's do that. Okay, I want to quickly show you this here, cyberseek.org. If you haven't seen it, I think you can use it. Have a look at it, peruse around in it. It's got two areas that I basically look at. One is you pick the state that you're in. I'm from Canada, but I can pretty well look at some of these other states and kind of follow the same guidelines and recommendations of these. For example, if we pick New York, it'll basically look at some of these the data and trending of what's happening in New York. The other is the career pathway, and this is where what I do is I get ideas of what's happening regarding the job roles and the skill sets required. So we look at two areas here, like IT support and networking. It's basically will show you, if you go down here, it'll show you the common titles associated with that. And it'll show you the certifications that it's recommending. You'll see here, it's got, the CompTIA, the stream A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus. But it's also got some Microsoft and some, CCNA. Now, what you can do with this is you can look at if you've got a cyber or a Cisco, a Security Plus certificate, you can branch out to all of these, mid to advanced level job roles and kind of build on top of that. Okay. So again, pretty quick overview of this tool. Have a look at it and enjoy, and then go from there. Carol, can we have a quick recap on the response from the polls if you're ready? Excellent. Okay. So not yet started. Okay, I got a plan for you. Somewhat involved, but not my key area of responsibility. Again, if you've got a networking background, you are well suited to hit the ground running in a cyber career. And actively working in a cybersecurity role, some of my recommendations will show you a pathway you can get into like early adoption, introductory into practitioner to expert. Okay, thanks, Carol. Okay, so let's have a look at the cybersecurity pathways. And I picked CompTIA and Cisco for some strong reasons. One is because they both have an approach where you can go from introductory through to practitioner through to expert level. So they've both got good streams that flow with them. Here's what CompTIA looks like. You can see it goes through, the A plus network plus that basically gives you foundational knowledge of the network. Security plus, this is when we looked at the CyberSeek. This is probably one of the more requested certifications that are out there. Okay. From there, you can continue on. You can look at the CYSA and pen test if you want to get into like advanced practitioner knowledge in the cybersecurity environment, or the Security X. That's an expert level from CompTIA. You get into incident response and cyber defense operations. Okay. Basically, here is the skills and competencies that Security Plus has. We'll just get you a look at that in a moment there. And some of the primary job roles. Okay. Just want to illustrate from the course that you have. It's got 16 modules in there, lectures, and those lectures come with 36 labs. What I did is a screen snapshot. This is Kali Linux. If you're not familiar with Kali Linux, you can learn about it taking the Security Plus course. And from there, you can basically launch all these tools I'm going to show you in a second here on this. Okay. This is the Cisco one. Yeah, special shout out to friend Kyle Winters he's a technical advocate of cybersecurity, and he provided me some of these slides for the Cisco road mapping. So basically, at Sunset Learning, we're a platinum learning partner. What we do is we involves ourselves in the associate, professional, and expert levels. Okay, as you can see, Cisco does have an entry level things here. I would recommend that you can jump right into the associate and get the certification as opposed to like a badging. Okay, and again, the certification. You will see Cisco has got something called Cisco Associate right now. They are rebranding to have cybersecurity in their certification names. So Cyber Associate becomes Cybersecurity, CCNP, Cybersecurity Professional will be CCNP Cybersecurity. Good to note, there's no changes in the exams or the training involved in that. So we drill into each one. Right now, today, you can take the Cybersecurity Associate course. It will morph over to this badging on February 3rd. So if you take this course, you write the exam, you'll be given this certification. You will be assigned this. You don't have to do anything. You'll be assigned this February 3rd. Okay. If you take this course, but you write your exam on February 4th, you can get this cybersecurity. The note thing here is no changes will be happening to the exams or the training. Okay. Drill down into the professional level. Just remember that you need a core and only one of these concentration or elective courses. Okay. And then just very quickly is that on these electives, this is the conducting threat hunting and defending in a Cisco environment. This is available in both instructor-led and digital. On the cyber FIR, it's forensic analysis and incident response. Okay. Again, take these courses. You can take them today, and you can write your exam now and automatically be assigned this February 3rd, or you can take these courses now and write the exam past February 3rd, and you'll still get the same result. Okay. I want to make a quick mention of Cisco U. Cisco U is a good landing spot for Cisco's digital learning environment. Two things. One is this is the URL for landing for Cisco U. And the other thing is Cisco just launched something called tutorials. Tutorials are basically, they're offering them for free. which is good from Cisco. Thank you very much, Cisco, for this. What are the tutorials? 15 to 60 minutes in length. There's almost 200 of these tutorials, and they cover topics such as AI, cloud, security, and automation. Okay. So these are just some of the products that your subscription with Cisco U you can jump into. If you've got you want to do a quick learning session on Duo, there you go. Or Umbrella, have a look at that. Want to find out about Identity Services Engine, you can do that within this. If you want reach out to us, one thing I did want to mention is that on the Cisco U, if you have Cisco Learning credits, you can use this to purchase these. Contact us. We'll help you, walk you through that. Okay. So where we've added some value on there, if you got these credits, they do have an expiry date on them. And you can basically use that before the date of expiry, and you'll have access to Cisco U for 1 year. Okay. If you take a single course that you're using, that's good for 6 months. Okay. And again, these have the lecture part of it, and they have the labs included on the Cisco U. The other thing I like about Cisco U is I actually use it for recertifying my Cisco certs. You can get CE points for certification. You don't no more exam writing. So build up your CEs, get recertified. Okay. Carol, can we get the next polling question? Thanks. So what is your area of interest? I'm just curious from what you've seen so far. What's out there with the job roles? What is your area of interest? So I've got threat hunting, governance, risk compliance, pen testing, not sure yet. It's funny because when cybersecurity first became very popular a number of years ago, everybody wanted to be the hacker and get into pen testing. What I'm finding is a lot of people are getting into the governance, risk compliance side of things. They may not be heads down technical hackers or that type of thing, but they're now setting policies within their enterprise. So GRC playing a big role in cyber these days. Okay. We'll just let that go for a while, and then we will go from there. So how are we doing with that? We getting some results, Carol? Oh, thank you. Okay, good. I'm not surprised at what I'm seeing. So threat hunting, it's a big thing, and you'll find that with these courses, they give you the tools to be able to determine and hunt for these threats. It's an exhausting role being in the blue team. The red team, they just have to get one hole in one chink in your armor to get through. Whereas you protecting, you have to have all bases covered. You might hear the term defense in depth. So multiple layers of defense. The governance, risk compliance, yeah, that's a good area to be in. You don't have to be overly technical to be very successful in a career within GRC. Okay, thanks, Carol. So we're going to talk about frameworks. What I wanted to do here is I picked some of my favorite frameworks that come from the training. So this training is basically from CompTIA Security Plus and the Cisco CCNA Cybersecurity. And you'll see these frameworks, and I got 3 of them I want to go over. This is called the cyber kill chain. Okay, I don't know if you've heard of it, great. But what it is, 7 steps. It was developed by Lockheed Martin model, and it's a framework to understand the stages of a cyber attack. The first one is reconnaissance. So this is where you gather information. Next is weaponization. Create the attack payload, then you deliver it, transmit the payload to the target. Exploitation is triggering the malicious code. The installation is installing malware on the system. And command and control, I like this one because once the attacker gains remote access on command and control, they may stay quiet on your systems for like days, weeks, even months or longer, just collecting information, analyzing things, looking at what their next step would be. And of course, the basically the last one is the action on objective. It's the results. Once they get access to your system, what is it that they would want to do? Data theft, destruction, um, grab some of your intellectual property. That this is called the cyber kill chain, and it's basically used at some of these, like the capture the flags or the red team, blue team, to have a good understanding of how to uh, go through these steps to be able to get full control of an environment. Okay. The next one I have is the MITRE attack framework. And it's basically a globally accessible knowledge base of adversary tactics and techniques in real world observations. And again, for this, this is the website for it. If you want to do a little bit deeper dive in this, you can learn a little bit more from this. And basically, what the way this would work is you would look at something like, I know it's a bit of an eye chart. My apologies here. But if you want to look at like brute force, you would click on that and it would show you the steps of brute force attacking. And you can kind of look at that and you follow up some other advisories of what's happening. Brute force is basically trying to break a password or hacking into a system via brute force. So that's called the MITRE framework. Do have a look at that. And I think you'll find it interesting. Okay. Flinda, yeah, get emailed a copy of this matrix. Absolutely. What I'll do is, Carol, if we can at the end, we'll have a quick chat. Maybe we can cut and paste the whole the file of links, and we can go through that. So that's MITRE framework. The last one from a framework is NIST. NIST, if you're not familiar, it's the National Institute of Standards and Technology. Okay. So they created this, excuse me, cybersecurity framework. And that's at 2.0. And it's basic to improve cybersecurity risk management. And it's widely adopted across industries and governments. I can tell you, I'm based out of Toronto, Canada. A lot of the corporations that I work with, they use this framework. So it's North America wide, very well used. Not sure about Europe, but definitely it's a good solid framework. It's based on 5 core functions. Okay, if you look at from the perspective of defense and attack, so these 5 functions are identity. So basically, understand your assets, your risks in your environment. On the protect, implement your safeguards like access controls and awareness training. The detect module within there, detect function, monitor your systems to identify cybersecurity events, the respond, take action to contain and mitigate an incident, okay? And of course, the recover. If you are hacked, you want to restore services. This is how good are your backups? Do you have an action plan with that? And basically, so this training, the principles within the NIST cybersecurity framework, they are part of the principles within the Security Plus course and the CCNA Cyber course. Okay, so that's a framework. I just grabbed a couple of what I'll call tools that are out there. Okay, so from this, there's what I'll call the Linux distributions. If anybody can give me like a thumbs up or a 1 in chat if you've heard of Kali Linux or Security Onion. So these are my fave. There's another one called Parrot, which is actually getting a lot of press, I guess. Good. So Kali Linux, one of my favorites. It's looks like this when you do it. You can download it, install it. You can put it on USB. You can do a remote boot from USB and fire it up. Install it on your Windows Linux subsystem if you want to do that. I've got a Raspberry Pi. You can actually put a version of this, a watered down version of this on a Raspberry Pi if you want to do that. Again, Security Onion, good platform. Both these are used in the Cisco, the CCNA one uses a lot of the Security Onion. In the Security Plus, they have the Kali Linux in there. What I did is some of the the top are the major security tools that are within this training of Security Plus and CCNA Cyber. And it's basically, if we've got Nmap, basically Nmap, it scans networks to discover devices. Wireshark, if you've got any involvement in networking, I'm sure you've used Wireshark in the past. So Wireshark, captures and analyzes network traffic in real time. So you can actually use this to see passwords that are unencrypted. The other thing is Metasploit. This can get to really deep and wide as far as the switches and some of the components within Metasploit. And basically, it's a framework for safely simulating cyber attacks. Suricata, this monitors network traffic for signatures of intrusions or malicious activity. I kind of think of this as a high-performance intrusion detection, intrusion prevention service. Again, Zeek, that's another one. This will analyze network behavior and it creates detailed protocol logs. With these logs, bring your AI part into it and analyze these logs. Hit that easy button for when you've got things there. Okay, and the other one I like, it's actually included within Kali Linux here is Aircrack. And basically what it is, Aircrack, it evaluates the security of Wi-Fi networks by capturing wireless packets. And you can try to break through some of these passwords. Okay, good. Summary and key takeaways and promos. Kara, let's do our last polling question, if we could. And while we're doing that, so again, are you interested in becoming certified in cybersecurity? Yes, it's on my wish list. Undecided. Enter that in. I'm going to summarize some of this discussion here. Again, cybersecurity, it can be very rewarding. As we've seen that if you get into governance risk compliance, you don't have to be a high-level technical, I want to say geek, okay? You don't have to be that. You can still set up policies and procedures for your organization on governance risk compliance. So that's a great cybersecurity career. If you like penetration testing, you like to identify threats, that's a good area to get into. If you have a networking background, like you've got the CCNA Enterprise, which is internetworking background, or you've got CompTIA Network Plus, then you're very easily, you can go into a cyber role, okay? Then have a look at both of these here. So both Security Plus and the Cybersecurity course, they have a good balance of the lecture and the labs. So if you're looking at getting so real world examples, and I kind of call it skills-based training. So skills-based is where it's not getting a certification for the sake of getting that cert. What it does is it shows you, once you've obtained these certifications in one or the other here, it shows your HR department or your manager that you have the skills from both the lecture side and you have actually had hands-on with the labs for that. So you've proven yourself for that, okay? And the one thing is that there's a lot of options afterwards to become advanced practitioner expert in security field. And again, just to reiterate, if we look at either or, excuse me, as it shows you, it's both of these vendors, they have great roadmaps for your cybersecurity career. This is the CompTIA one, get your Security Plus, and then you can go north and south on these. You want to be attacker, defender, and then you can get into an expert level. For Cisco, if you've got a CCNA, easily jump in to get the CCNA cybersecurity. Okay, you can start that training now if you like, and then you'll get that badge in February 3rd. It'll cut over. So there's no change to the exam or the training component of that. And then from there, you can easily morph across to the CCNP cybersecurity. I showed you that there's a core course there, and then there's the two other courses, and you pick one of those two to get your CCNA. And then from there, you can go into the CCIE expert level, which is basically having the skill set of overall security environment um, in a Cisco environment. And there's a lot of really good Cisco tools. We had something earlier this week for Splunk. Splunk basically a SIEM, SIEM that collects a lot of data and will analyze it. So you can have a look at that. Okay. Um, let's see what we got here. Okay. Carol, that kind of wraps it up. Can you go over some of these security discounts?
Yes,
Go from there.
sure. Thank you so much, Brad. So before we wrap up, I just want to share that we are offering exclusive Cybersecurity Month discounts on a variety of certification courses. You have access to hands-on training across the major vendors, Cisco, CompTIA, Palo Alto Networks, more, and they will be covering everything from beginner to advanced cybersecurity certifications. Okay, and you can save up to 25% off using the code 25cyber, but you need to purchase your course until October 31. Okay, you can attend another uh another month, but you need to purchase until October 31. Okay, so you have a few days. If I were you, I would check for the webinar, for the chat. I will be sharing our cybersecurity month official page. So everyone say some of the training include the exams and some not. You need to reach out to our sales representative to know more, okay, Aiden? And also in this month, we have our special giveaway that is in the same LP that I just shared the URL. So we are running a giveaway. So anyone who signs up during this October will have a chance to win a free Cisco Security digital course of your choice. They are listed in this landing page. So the winner will be announced on November 3rd and will get 6 months to access the digital course of your choice. Okay? In this landing page that I shared, you have all the information and you can visit, see all of our courses, focus it on cybersecurity and everything more. Okay, and I just wanted to say the last thing is that all our courses are guaranteed to run. Okay, so if you need another date or anything, feel free to reach out to us and our sales representatives will be more than happy to uh, clarified your doubts. Thank you, Brad. I don't know
Yeah,
if
that's good. Yeah, I'm just going to go over some of the chats. I just brought up your link, Carol, our cybersecurity month. Do have a look at that landing page. There's a lot of good information in there. What our marketing folks have done, they followed the cybersecurity month, cybersecurity awareness month, practice procedures of what they recommend. I think one week was basically secure your password, and it gets some recommendations on there. We've got some free resources in there. What I can do, Carol, is I'll talk to marketing, see if we can maybe plunk this presentation in there. So come back and we'll see if we can actually plunk that in from today's session and go from there. And again, it talks about some of the training that we have, what Carol just talked about with the course giveaway. Fill your name out, submit it, and we can get you out there. There's about the training discounts on that. So let me just go through the chat a little bit, just have a look at the side here. And Carol, thank you for including a lot of these links as I've been chatting through. Some of these folks, you can actually get those, grab them out of the chat now and use it for a reference. A couple of questions here is where in the high end are the job openings? What's the highest salary? I'm going to say, obviously, when you get to the advanced practitioner to expert level, So if we go back and look at um, things where we've got some of the, let me go back in here. So we've got some of these, this job flow. If I break it down, this will be like um, the introductory, entry level to intermediate practitioner level. So these are good salaries here. A lot of people they just get to this point and they say, and they sit there for a few years before they challenge themselves to get into the next area. If you're looking for the high end salaries, it's when you get into the advanced practitioner to the expert. Um, I want to some of the roles in cybersecurity that I've seen are the ones that are what I'll call the management levels. So you have like the chief information or the CISO, chief information security officer, would be one of the high end salaries. Okay, not too many of those jobs are actually available. Basically, what that would have more of an interest in is the governance, risk, and compliance side of things. Um, you can actually get a large salary in just the what I'll call the penetration testing, something like that, creating policies, finding that out. What I might suggest is focus on your cybersecurity career, but bring in the AI part of it. AI is starting to become a lot involved in the cybersecurity side. Uh, and for a couple of reasons, it's on both sides of, say, the red team, blue team. Um, so as a blue team, you're defending, you want to use your AI tools along with the cybersecurity tools to help defend your environment. So you could use AI to scrub through a bunch of logs and find like repeatable environments. Is someone taking command and control? Find that out. On the other side, we talked about script kiddies. Um, if you get a script kiddie that basically fires up AI, they can be pretty damaging with some of the tools by having very little knowledge of cybersecurity. They just basically get the AI to do it on their behalf. So, but to answer your question, get to the advanced practitioner level, have a bit of diversification, have your cybersecurity background, governance, risk, compliance, bring in some AI into that. Okay. I'm just going to have a quick look again. Oh, one thing, does the training include the cost? I'll say we can be flexible. Let us know what you want to do. Again, the good point there is you can get the official training either from CompTIA or from Cisco, and that gives you the authorized training. Okay, the exam can be a separate price. The exam is basically their proctored exams. If you've never written an exam, you would get yourself registered with Pearson VUE. You can either write it at home by doing something called on view, and in which case someone watches you over your onboard camera and listens to you. Or I actually like to go on site to a Pearson VUE training center, and they do things like they check you with a wand. I was palm scanned, that type of thing. So you have to roll your sleeves up, turn your pockets inside out to write these exams. So there's that part of it. So, and I will say to Adam, yes, Adam. So actually, the task of writing the exam is an experience in itself. Okay. I always like to, when I prepare myself to write an exam, these come with, I'll say, sample environments. With the CompTIA, it comes with call it a test practice. What I do is I run through this thing at least 3 times until I'm getting 90% or more. Okay. On the CCNA side of things, they have questions at the end of each module. So just have these questions, keep going over them and over them all the time, and make sure that you are solid with these answers. And when you get 90% or better on these, definitely go and write it. When you're writing the exam, I think it's Cisco, you have to get like an 82% or better in the exam for a passing grade. So these are not for, to be thought of very, very easily. So definitely get yourself prepared for those exams, and you'll be well rewarded once you do get these exams. Okay, look at some more. Cybersecurity associate degree. Okay, good. Yeah, thanks, Adam. If there's any other questions, send them out. If not, Carol, I think what we can do is we can start wrapping up. I want to thank everybody for their time. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you for spending the hour with us. And hopefully we got you engaged and excited to look at the CompTIA or the Cisco career pathways and get yourself ramped up for cybersecurity. Do have a look at Sunset Learning website. And I also recommend that if you're on LinkedIn, get connected to Sunset Learning on LinkedIn, because our marketing folks do a great job of posting free webinars. There's some free training coming up on the Microsoft side of things. We'll
Yes.
post certain information that is very apropos for that. So get connected with us, and hopefully we can help you out with your career. Carol,
Yes.
with that, is there anything else I may have missed? And if not, we can wrap it up.
Oh, good. Thank you all for
All
joining us.
good.
Thank you, Brad.
Great.
Always a
Thanks
good
all. And
session.
greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time. Greatly appreciated.
Thank
Bye for
you.
now.
Bye.
If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification icon to get notified whenever we upload new content.